What if I told you guys
You're
we didn't
pregnant?
go to space,
Oh,
we made space? Would you know what I was talking about?
okay.
Uh,
For sure,
no, but
man.
yeah, I can't wait.
I don't think
So,
that's how that works,
uh,
Rob.
well, in Katy Perry's world, it works that way. If you guys didn't see, one of the
Jeez.
biggest news stories from last week was the
Full
Blue
week, I guess.
Origin uh, space. What would you call it? Space ride or like a
I would
space?
say it's like a
Yeah.
space ride.
Because you don't like go to space. You go to like
No,
kind of
you go
like
right,
the
yeah, in the atmosphere where you hit the 0 G for
You
like a
basic
moment.
you basically go to the edge where it is legally considered space by
But you're not exiting orbit.
yeah.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Therapy should feel accessible and not like a luxury. With online therapy, you can get quality care at a price that makes sense that can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach thanks to BetterHelp. That was a great thing about BetterHelp for me. It not only helped me deal with my stresses and teach me how to deal with my stresses, but also helped me with the stress of how much therapy can cost. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You can join sessions with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast. So on April 14th, Blue Origin, which is like Jeff Bezos's, like, he's my boss, by the way. My boss is
Big fan,
like
Jeff.
his like space passenger thing. They took 6 passengers up this week. One being Katy Perry, the other being Gail King, philanthropist Lauren Sanchez, fiance of Jeff Bezos, NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bao, bioastronautics researcher scientist Amanda Nijuin. Now, this is not the first flight of the Blue Origin. This is actually the 11th human space mission. And they aim to bring rich people to the moon. Or not to the moon. What am I saying? To the outer layer of space, basically where you don't have to like go be on fire to come back in. Would you guys like to guess how much the initial deposit is?
Ooh, probably at least 100,000.
Let's say 10 million.
The initial deposit is $150,000.
Yep.
Now that's just to like
I went
get the
crazy.
ball rolling, and that doesn't account for anything else. So and like before this trip, William Shatner, Michael Strahan had been on this flight. But recently, this space ride had some pretty big controversy. Especially in today's age. It just seemed a little out of touch. Every, the world sucks, and for them to just go to space and be like, we did something so beautiful. And Katy Perry's facing the biggest backlash.
Her PR team has been not great so far in recent year or whatever.
This
Do you guys
past
want to
year.
hear something kind of funny?
Yes, with
Sydney and one of her friends are actually going to go see the Katy Perry concert. That's here in Denver because tickets were so cheap. And Sydney wants me to say. Sydney probably wants me to say this for the record. She bought the tickets before the space thing. Okay, she bought the tickets before because let's be real. Katy Perry got some bangers. Katy Perry does have bangers.
Do you ever feel?
There you go. You know that one. Give me another one, Mr. Fruit. Like how many? Give me another Katy Perry song.
Because baby, you're a firework.
You see, and that just shows the reach of Katy Perry.
Cold,
yeah. If Mr. Fruit can name 3 songs from our artist,
California girls are undeniable.
There you go.
But to be fair, too, that's all like 12 years ago or whatever.
There was like a
Yeah.
there was like a 5-year period where Katy Perry could do no wrong. And then that 5 years was up and it was like, all right, that's all you wished for. Like you
And she ripped, dipped, skipped.
like the genie you could only grant a wish that lasted 5 years. So like that's up.
So after an interview, the reason I say that is because Katy Perry thought she was spitting bars here. She said, "We didn't go to space, we made space." And like, I think Katy Perry's getting the biggest backlash. 'cause-
Jesus
definitely did
fucking
not hear that.
Christ, man.
Yeah. Oh, she'll in the interview. It's so funny. She goes like, they're talking. She's just talking about like, I feel love. Like, like basically, like someone was like, "How do you feel?" And she's like, "I feel love." Like it was basically like this. I don't like she took it as like this whole otherworldly experience. Meanwhile, everybody's watching this like these gluttonously rich celebrities just going to space for fun. Like it
I
didn't
mean, to be
like you
fair,
didn't
if I was as rich as them, I'd do it too. Can't blame
I
them.
mean 150K. Like if I just had money to throw away like that, like I mean they
I mean, for
experienced
their
4
money.
minutes of 4 minutes of weightlessness or whatever.
I
So
better
you
take my
don't.
Dramamine.
Yeah, I would literally hate that. So she brought like a little flower up there with her that she was holding. She put up her set list. But there
sure.
are a lot of people, conspiracy theories out there that they didn't really go into space. During the launch, not one time did it cut into the ship, which people think is kind of sus. There is another sus thing where they're coming on re-entry and the person's like, "Oh, here they come. They're coming in real slow and it looks really good. And this is going to be a nice slow landing." And it looks like a fucking atom bomb goes off when they land, bro. Like the dust cloud that comes up around them, it literally like it looks like you'd break your back like just sitting in that thing. And then the really funny thing is when they land and you see somebody open the door to like the ship from the inside. And all of a sudden it closes and they cut out like the feed and all that kind of stuff, and they said there was like lag or something essentially to cut the feed. And then Jeff Bezos walks up to the ship with like this big old like key torque thing, and then the door just like barely just like opens as if like it doesn't even really need that key thing.
They're like,
So a lot of people are
you locked
thinking
it,
like
right?
a lot of people are having their conspiracy theories about it, of course. But yeah, my question now is, and I think Christian already answered it. If you guys were a rich celebrity and you guys could ride to space, would you do it?
No.
I would.
I have no desire. I would never like. I don't think about the 4 minutes of weightlessness. I think about the re-entry and the takeoff. Like I feel like there's so much that can go wrong there.
For me, it's probably the closest I'll ever get to actually being in space. So just for that novelty alone, I mean, is it expensive and ridiculous and necessary? No. But I would. But the one thing I do remember hearing about the story is the people who've gone on this flight and stuff have been trying to like identify themselves now as like, no, I'm an astronaut. And I'm trying to find it, but they like ended up updating, or it's like risen the question, they're trying to change the definition of what an astronaut qualifies as, and long story short is whatever they're doing would not qualify them as astronauts. I can't find the actual definition. Wish I saved it.
So like I would assume like an astronaut, you have to know how to work instruments and stuff. Like they're not like actually like working the ship or anything like that. It is on a directory or whatever how you
I
say
mean, I
that
think
word. Trajectory.
maybe not legally speaking, but I think the entire point of being an astronaut is that you are leaving Earth. You are leaving Earth to enter orbit or to go somewhere, and to
Where
get
no
into
man has gone before.
orbit, and like or for like people who are like, you know, doing
Now Katy
the
Perry.
not Katy Perry, uh for like people who are like have to like reside like take residence on like satellites for a while or like space stations, like that requires an incredible amount of training. And because I mean you're not just going to be there for 5 minutes on a spacecraft that is not leaving orbit. you are, I mean, not leaving orbit, but you know what I mean. That is not entering orbit. There's a big difference between, oh yeah, guys, let's do this cute little photo op on this thing that just barely enters what looks like space versus, yep, enter an orbit. You know, things are going to be real different for me. I'm going to have to reside. I'm going to have to be weightless for a couple months. Big difference. And also, I just have to say, there's this one fucking section that was like so like it felt so AI generated when obviously it wasn't AI generated, but it felt so AI generated when Katy Perry brought out like one of those fucking flowers, and then like she's just with the flower, and it's just the most like photo op stupid like fucking cologne perfume ad where she has the flower and then she starts laughing like, and I was like, geez, man, I would
And
let me seppuku myself right here,
let me
right now.
just say for the record too, this has nothing to do that they're all female for me. Okay, that plays
You
zero.
didn't
Oh,
even
This could be
have
all.
that's everything
This could
for
be.
me, man.
This could
That's
be.
fine.
you didn't have to bring it
This,
up. You didn't have to if
this
you
could be all dudes.
if
and
you
like,
brought
I
it
would
up
still
and
have
no
the
one
same
would have
feeling.
noticed, Rob, I would just like to say that.
No, there are people that are like, why are chicks good, like sexy space outfits, like doing this? And for me, as it could be all dudes, and I would have the same issue with this
That's
because
okay. Okay.
one of the scientists on the thing said, we advanced science today. More people are going to be able to do meaningful research with Blue Origin because we collected data. We contributed to the knowledge base of what people know about women. We are inspiring the world right now.
No one's inspiring you. Well, yeah, I would agree. The publicity of people of them saying like, "Wow, like we did something incredible," and it's like you paid you probably paid like $1 million to go up here, do a
At
photo
least.
op, and then come back down. What did you do? You spent $1 million that you probably could have sent to like something that like was valuable, like
Yeah.
to
Like that's
charity
the whole
or
point.
something. I don't know. But instead, you said, I kind of want to go to space, guys. So let's do that. I mean, I don't think you need to say it because I think everyone who watched this podcast knows how we feel about capitalism. But at the end of the
Women.
day, and also women, the worst. We're just, I don't know, man. I feel like we should really bring sexism back, in my opinion. But yeah, it's crazy.
That's why I brought this up.
Yeah, it's
But-
crazy that they made it seem like they were like, they did something incredible. It's like, y'all, NASA be doing this all the time. The only difference is the astronauts are doing it for like specific research purposes, and you guys are doing it because this is gonna look great on Insta.
Well,
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
I looked at that more because I was like, I need to remember. This doesn't have any updated one or what they proposed the updated one, but Merriam-Webster both states it as a person whose profession is to travel beyond the Earth's atmosphere, but also more simply as any person who travels beyond the Earth's atmosphere. NASA calls it those who make star sailing their career profession. We'll know the fact that the word astronaut derives from the Greek words star sailor.
Oh.
For the FAA to compete in considered an astronaut, they must be able to demonstrate a role in the flight safety or operations.
Yeah.
Furthermore, as to like, well, did they actually enter space? Apparently, there's no universally accepted definition of where space starts. Many consider the Kármán line, about 62 miles above Earth's sea level, to be the atmosphere, where it's too thin to create aircraft lift. As the edge of space, some government agencies say 50 miles, but the Blue Origin flight did go to 65 miles.
Oh
So,
shit.
by
Fuck,
the
they're
actual
astronauts.
definition of space, looks like they did, but then, yeah, I guess it depends. So, at the very least, are they astronauts? I don't know. But did they enter what's considered to be space? Evidently.
Did they professionally prepare and train for? Sorry, it's been storming really bad, y'all. It does not look like Antarctica behind me. It looks like hell. But
Kind of looks like Antarctica behind that window.
dude, what was I doing?
Cold. Something about astronauts, space.
Yeah, regardless, I'm pretty sure like that one where it was like, yeah, you have to like complete a lot of training because you're not just going to space for 5 minutes. But I don't know. It's
I'm somewhat of an astronaut myself.
I honestly lost where I was because my internet went out. So
Well, you're back here on Earth.
Oh,
Which
Yeah, welcome
I'm an
back,
astronaut. I'm an astronaut.
you went to astronaut momentarily, or you became one. I will say that just leads me to this thing I saw this discussion yesterday. There's this exoplanet we've discovered for some time now, I believe, and maybe recently made more research or better pictures or whatever. But it appears to be an Earth-like planet in its composition, not like, of course, we have no actual indication of whether or not life lives there. But for us, when we look at planets, we see Earth-like components for life as we know it. That's what is hospitable for life. So maybe there is. Who knows? It's really far. But this planet, I forget. It's like AB12 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's
some weird.
it's at least like
See.
5 times the size of Earth or 4 times something like that. Pretty large. But people brought up this interesting point, and this had never even occurred to me because while I am I'd say a space enjoyer, maybe space
Real quick,
enthusiast.
real
Yeah.
quick. K218b is the name of the planet.
Yes, K218b. Everyone knows that. When it comes down to science, like actual science, math, that portion of it, I wish I knew stuff, but brother, it's all gibberish to me, and I just smile and wave. I'm like, really? And then I just learn something new, and I just try and retain it. But like, I'm not out here solving principles or whatever. And so, somebody rose the point that a planet like that could exist. There could be life on it for all we know, but odds are they're stuck, as in they literally can't leave orbit.
Oh.
Because I think from what we can tell and guess, if it's similar to Earth's core construction and whatnot with the size and all that stuff, it has roughly like 20 to 25% increased gravity than Earth,
Good God.
which we could still walk. Like it'd be a little bit more, but
You jump
it's
like half an inch. Like
yeah, it would be rougher, but like it's not like crushing.
impossible.
We'd be able to survive, but it wouldn't be comfortable. But a 20 to 25% increase when talking about trying to travel through space and energy is like exponential. Not to mention, because of the increased size of the Earth or that planet with its radius and atmosphere, it means you have to go even further up to exit orbit. And the further you get before you exit, the more energy it takes. And so it's just so interesting learning even more about like how Earth is truly the Goldilocks. Like it doesn't make like the way we're able to, because they specifically also mentioned like man crewed flights. You could probably get unmanned flights and whatnot, but in order to create safe environment for something to live through it that's organic, and then learning that like Earth is just like we're barely like we're practically almost not capable of it. And it's just crazy to think that like
That's crazy.
everything
Yeah.
that had to go right. Because like just like that, if let's say we were there on that planet, we just wouldn't even realize. But it's like we probably think manned flight wouldn't even be possible because through the laws of physics. I mean, some people were trying to bring up like Orion drives and whatnot, like crazy technology and energy that's just not feasible. Where it's like there's probably a way you could make it work, but the amount of resources and energy and technology you would need is just
It would be really
probably not
difficult.
realistic.
It would be really difficult, and who knows if they even have the resources to ignite a flight like that. You know what I mean?
It's just sitting there. It's like, man,
Like,
it's
what if
just like
that
an
planet?
existential thing. It's like that's crazy.
Like, what if that planet is just a bunch of fucking water and grass? What if they don't have like the elemental
And
properties that we need to go to
the
space?
raw minerals and
Yeah.
resources.
And so that
Weird
is
thing about that.
that is a crazy thing to think about because what if there is like super great intelligent life? They just don't have the means of leaving their planet. And I'm not the nihilist type of person to believe in like the dark forest theory, which like the dark forest theory is basically like other planets, like other species know about us and like all that good stuff, but like many civilizations around the universe like choose to stay silent and like just analyze from a distance because they don't want to get like conquered. Not that much of a nihilist, but I think it is interesting to think that like there's probably tons of life around the universe, but a lot of it is just
I just think we're like, if the universe was Earth, which would make sense because it's, as far as we know, infinite. But let's say it was. We are some uncharted, uh,
oh yeah.
isolated island in the middle of the sea that like nobody knows about. But if we knew and could see, like, okay, well, there's other people, but we're so isolated that there could be stuff like that Star Wars universe, for instance, could totally be true. But they're so far away that like I just think it's more so, yeah, we're just kind of in a lonely sector of the universe.
I mean,
Uh,
just playing No Man's Sky alone made me realize how vast and crazy it is because if you think about it, you have a massive pool of people nonstop flying around of space spelunkers doing their own thing. And the chance of finding another person's anything, like the chance of like coming across another person alone is impossible. The chance of even just like finding their leftover base is basically like almost zero. And to be in a game that is simulating a universe, for your chance to be that low when everyone is already looking around for stuff is that doesn't leave a lot of great opportunities for us who are really just sending out things in hopes that like someone hears it. And who knows if they even have the capability of hearing it. But it's yeah, I mean, as far as intelligent life goes, who knows if we'll ever like find it. Obviously, I think there was something about like them finding like algae, like the potential of like algae or something. And everyone, their mom was like, "It's fucking algae. Who cares?" But it's like, hey,
I
that's
still think that's
life.
cool.
That's life
Yeah.
that we didn't think
That's how we
was
started.
as far as we have been searching for the time being. That's pretty. That's really sick. Seeing the
Well,
potential
I
for
think
life is awesome.
people get caught up. They hear life on another planet, and most people think intelligent life, but they don't say intelligent life on purpose. Just like a living thing, even if that's an amoeba or whatever, uh, but some sort of organism. Uh,
There's a great chance
that's
that we come across other life, and it's just a bunch of like fucking random wild animals.
I'm
Really
probably out of
good
my mind.
chance, and I would be super pog.
I also
Uh,
wonder too. Maybe we're one of the only intelligent life that even bothers looking for others. Maybe they're like, why don't we just stick to ourselves, bro? But for some reason, we are determined to, like the Voyager, We just want to
let's
know we're not
hope
alone.
let's hope Katy Perry figures that out for
Yeah.
us, for our sake.
Thankfully, she's taken a giant first step.
Uh, Speaking of giant first steps, uh, there is a movie out right now that is making big steps. People are claiming it as movie of the year already. I think at the moment, right now, on Rotten Tomatoes, it is currently sitting at a 98% with critics and a 97% with audiences. And it's Minecraft 2. It's here.
First we
And
mine,
Mr. Fruit
then we craft more.
got an exclusive view of this movie, and I'm excited to hear his review of it.
Yeah, Thursday night, Claire and I went to.
Claire went.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah, she
That's
was
how I
interested,
know.
which surprised me.
That's how you know. Like
Yeah,
that's how you know this is a big movie.
didn't get to see it in IMAX though, because she's like, I can't recline in IMAX. So we went to like the Dolby thing where like you can recline.
Hey,
And
I
I was
don't
like,
blame
all
you,
right,
Claire.
fine.
Recline
Otherwise,
away,
I'm not.
Queen.
And apparently the experience in IMAX is great. So
You're gonna
might
go
just have
again.
to go back
I'm
and
assuming.
watch it again. I don't know. Because she told me that. I was like, oh, you want to go watch it again? She goes, no, but like if you want to, I'm like, all right, well. Uh, Yeah, so I went to go see it. Spoiler review or spoiler free, obviously. Um,
This is not the Minecraft 2 movie. This is
yeah.
Sinners.
Oh yeah, I didn't even Sinners. With Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Miles. I don't know his last name. I guess it's like his first movie. And some others. And it's rated R. I think it's categorized as like a horror adventure. I think that's what they're calling it. And let me put it this way first, because like Claire's like, I don't want to go see a scary movie. It's a horror movie, not a scary movie. Uh, it's more so like, there's some uh violence and gore or whatever, but it's not like uh jump scare, super like there's a little bit of suspense, but it's just the idea of the horror genre. Uh, in fact, there's only like really one jump scare. It was a rattlesnake. And when you watch it, you'll realize too, it's like, oh, it's just completely random. So with that said, I don't want to talk too much about the plot. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen enough. I had seen the trailer originally. Plus, I love Michael B. Jordan. And it just looked like a movie I was going to enjoy. So I'm like, bet. I'm interested. I'm down. And then I'd also heard beforehand, like the critic reviews, because at a while it was over like 60 reviews at 100%, whatever, before the movie came out. It is pretty rare. So I was like, all right, I'll
Yeah.
go see it, bet. And where the Minecraft movie was probably a 1 out of 5 on the fruit scale, Sinners is the second 5 out of 5, right?
Wow.
With a wild robot.
Really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I walked out and I was thinking maybe it's like a really good 4 out of 5. But then the more I sat with it, and then the days that pass, like the movie just sits with me. And then I just keep thinking about it. And I realized, yeah, no, it's a 5 out of 5. It's a must watch on the old fruit scale.
Wow.
Plus the theater experience. I can especially see why the IMAX would be great. Music design is incredible. It has one of the coolest sequences, in my opinion, of any movie I've ever seen. And if you watch the movie, you'll know the sequence I talk about. And not enough good things to say. The performances, story, execution, again, music, sound design. It was great. It was incredible.
I have
So
to
I don't
watch
want
it.
to say more without
I have to watch it
spoiling
now.
Yeah, like-
anything.
I have to
Yeah,
watch it now.
I
Mr. Fruit just gave his second 5 out of 5 on the GG Over Easy podcast. I would like you guys to know we have been doing this podcast almost 6 years now. And he has
God.
only given one other 5 out of 5. So I need to watch
What
this
was your
movie.
other 5 out of 5?
Wild Robot.
Wild
Minecraft
Robot.
2?
Now, to be fair, if I'd had this scale during Everything Everywhere All at Once, I would have given that a 5 out of 5.
That lives up to it.
Fair.
But
Dune 2?
otherwise, like I
5
can't
out of
immediately.
5?
Dune 2, well, okay, see, I think that would be a 5 out of 5, but that one's definitely more like I can tell sometimes too, and it's like, okay, well, I think just like for me, this is a 5 out of 5, which is, to be fair, you know how some reviews go. But usually I try to take like a general approach to like, okay, I think that was like a 4 out of 5, but I could see for most people it's probably 3 out of 5. So yeah, Dune 2 would probably be 5 out of 5 for me then. And then I'd have to think, but there aren't like any other immediate movies that I can think of off the top of my head that immediately jump. But yeah, it's rare for me is all I'm saying. And I'd throw it in that bucket. And of all the things, like a horror movie, I would not have thought going in. But yeah, not enough good
I didn't
things
know
to
what
say.
kind of
So
movie it was. Like with horror, suspense, thriller type beat. But yeah, definitely going to see it with Sydney now.
I didn't know much of anything myself. I saw the one trailer a while ago, and I said, that's all I need. I'll watch it. I don't want to know anymore. And then that's when we were headed to the movie that Claire explained they call it a horror adventure. Because I was like, I don't actually know like what kind of movie it is, or like if it's supposed to be scary. And that's when she looked up, and they're calling it a horror adventure.
Speaking of Dune, in this regard. Dune Awakening, the new game coming out set in the Dune universe, was delayed. Um,
To
not too
June.
big of a delay. Yeah, it's from May 20th to June 10th.
Isn't much,
Yeah, which isn't much.
but I will
But
be there no
yeah,
matter what.
yeah. So will I, and take that information as you will. Okay. We can't go into it a little bit more as much as I wish we could. But Dune Awakening, June 10th is coming out, and I will be there. Okay. I will be there.
You can know more in. Is this gonna go live today? Which is
Today.
420, by the way. I guess maybe I can't say the embargo date. A couple, a little while from now, but you'll
Soon.
see a video. Robin, I can say all I can say is we have played it, and so take that with you what you will. But I will be there no matter what.
Yeah. Super fun. Also, speaking of a video game movie type beats, well, just a movie, really.
It was a good
This
try.
weekend, Star Wars had their big like expo type of thing that they normally kind of have, and we got some new announcements. As you guys may know, my Star Wars fandom is absolutely maybe at the lowest point it's ever been.
In shambles.
I mean, like, think about. I mean, what's the last piece of Star Wars content you guys genuinely enjoyed?
I like
Andor.
I think
Ahsoka,
I watched that.
and
I think
Andor is
and that's
peak.
it.
Andor is
I
peak.
don't think I've seen Ahsoka,
I haven't either.
but I like.
I'm not a big
Andor.
Clone War guy though, so like,
If
I
you're
feel
not
like
big
that's
on
for, like, the
Clone
Clone
Wars,
Wars.
it wouldn't be for you. That's for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I saw the first season the year it premiered in like 08 or 07 or whatever, but that was it.
But I couldn't tell you the
When did
last
it-
time I enjoyed a Star Wars movie. Could not.
I mean, movie especially, but like, the last piece of content was Andor. But we got a new movie that's coming out, Star Wars Starfighter, and all we know about it is that it is starring Ryan Gosling and directed by Sean Levy.
How did I not
Uh,
hear about this?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Yeah, so there's a
Sounds
new
like
Star
it
Wars.
sounds like a fake.
Sounds like Chat
no.
GPT.
And Sean Levy has directed Deadpool, Wolverine, Free Guy, Night at the Museum, Real Steel, The Internship, and The Atom Project. Just so to name a few of his projects before.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of hits and misses in there.
Yeah,
Maybe
a
some
lot
more
of-
misses. Yeah, it's a lot of. So that doesn't give me any confidence. It could be, I guess, good or bad. I have no idea.
Yeah, so that is I don't know. We got some leaked trailer footage of Ahsoka season 2, which a lot of people are excited about. Apparently, the Hound is playing the new bad guy in that movie because apparently
him.
or in that show because apparently I think the bad guy in season 1 had passed away or something like that during
I did forget
production.
that there were other people in Game of Thrones aside from Pedro Pascal. It just reminded me. I thought it was just he played every role.
Speaking of Pedro Pascal, I don't know if you guys saw the latest. I think it's the last one that's coming out. The last Fantastic Four trailer.
Mhm.
I know you like to
I
avoid
did.
trailers, Mr. Fruit.
I know I
Oh.
did, but I did.
Wow, you're like, I have to see this. Like,
I was
it looks
curious
so
enough.
good.
It didn't give too much away, but yeah, I was probably fine. I'm not gonna watch anything more. I was like, just for my own curiosity's sake. But it's looking good, man. Do I hope it's like the turn for Marvel? We've been veering off course.
Well, apparently, like everybody's loving the Thunderbolts. Like everybody that has seen it or like has heard anything about it, apparently it's awesome, which is a good
No, I
thing, I
hope so.
guess. I have really truly have no desire, but I mean, if it's really good and people are saying Marvel's back, I'll probably go and see it. Trying to find some other news I have here. Oh, okay, here we go. Hey, some Destiny 2 news. There is
Nice.
there's a reveal event coming for the Edge of Fate, whatever that means. I guess they're also going to announce the future of Destiny 2's codename Frontiers. So we'll get some more Frontier news apparently.
Well, I think maybe that's what they're calling Edge of Fate or something. I don't know, but I saw the picture, and at the very least, I remembered it's the
The
symbols of the
trials, like
9. Yeah. So it probably has something to do with the 9. Uh, and it came after the marathon reveal because everyone's like, "Did you guys forget about us?" And they're like, "No, different thing. It's coming." You're like, "Okay." But I will say, I mean, I think it's early May or I can't remember when the reveal is. But I think rumors or they said or something about a June release. So I mean, like it's right around the corner. So they're really keeping cards close to the chest before release. I'm interested to see what they're doing. And again, I doubt it. It would be cool if there's big overhauls or updates, but I think it's just going to be more of a this is where the story's going. Here's some new activities. So again, it'll be more Destiny 2. Uh, and we'll see if that's enough for me to care about it right now. But like, I mean, somebody the other day asked, or was like, "Hey, you want to do something like Destiny or something?" And I pull up on my Steam. I'm like, first off, it's not even installed. Uh, and last played was July 17th.
damn.
Yeah, it's almost a year. It's like I played Final Shape. I had fun. It was probably one of the last raids we did, and then I'm like, all right. And I just
And that was it. And that's a very healthy relationship with a video game,
Yeah.
Mr. Fruit.
I'll come back with the expansion. I'll check it out. But yeah, I'm not consumed with it. You know, I've had my fill of Destiny for now, and maybe one day that like at all times hankering will come back. But for now, it's like, yeah, I like the game. Oh, there's a new big expansion on just like a season. Yeah, I'll check it out. That was cool. I'll see you next
Moving
expansion.
on.
Yeah.
We also did get some news from Nintendo about the updated pricing on all things Nintendo Switch 2. And let me tell you, you guys better have deep pockets if you're planning on having Joy-Con drift or anything like that. The Nintendo Switch 2 by itself will cost $450 now. Mario Kart World will be $80. This is the one that is having everybody in a fuss. The Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller will be $85.
Uh,
The Joy-Cons, a pair of Joy-Cons will be $95.
uh,
The Joy-Con
$95.
$95 for 2 Joy-Cons. The charging grips for the Joy-Cons will be $40. The straps for the Joy-Cons will be $15.
uh,
The Joy-Con or the Nintendo Switch 2 camera will be $55. The Nintendo Switch 2 dock set will be $120. The Nintendo Switch 2 carrying case and screen protector will be $40. The Nintendo Switch 2 all-in-one carrying case will be $85. The Nintendo Switch 2 AC adapter will be $35, and the 256 gigabyte like micro SD will be $60. So everything is super
What?
expensive. If you buy a Nintendo Switch 2, it will come with Joy-Cons. It's not like you got to buy the Nintendo Switch
Well,
2 and if you want extra
that's the
Joy-Cons,
minimum bar. I swear,
yeah.
if that didn't happen, oh my god, I'd be out in the streets riding, bro. Are you kidding me?
But yeah,
That'd be wild.
for the Joy-Cons is the one that is everyone is pressed about. $95 for 2 Joy-Cons, which the Nintendo Switch 2 basically carries itself on playing with your friends, playing blah blah blah. So you better fork out an extra $100 if you want to play your Switch 2 with your friends.
Also, I don't understand because I was like, that also sounds expensive. I'm looking up like I can get 256 gigabyte micro SD on Amazon for like $20. Why is it? What is it like 60 or 70?
$60.
They threw their name on it or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. But it's
I
just
don't.
crazy. Like it's like the first time a console's come out. Like when the PS5 was coming out, I was like, I have to get that. You know, like the Switch when the first Switch came out, I was like, well, I have to get that. This is like, I don't really feel like I feel bad because I'm gonna miss out on Mario Kart and some other things, but I am in just zero rush to get this expensive ass thing.
I mean, I'll try to get it. One, I know Claire will use it more than anything. Um, and then yeah, if there ends up being some games that I'd want to cover, but like I think I mentioned it before, if it's hard to pre-order or something, I'm gonna wait. Like I'm not gonna bend
How
over
many Switch games
backwards.
have you actually covered though on your channel? Mario Kart,
Mario
Zelda,
Kart, Zelda, Pokemon.
Pokemon,
I mean
of
Pokemon's
course.
a big one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dang.
not
So if you guys want to play
many others.
ZA, you have to get a Switch too, or no?
No.
I think you can play it. You can play it on the normal Switch at I'm sure 12 FPS,
But
480
I
resolution.
but I'm anticipating that it's gonna be like 12 FPS, so I'm really trying to get a Switch too.
Would like to play it in 60. It would be nice.
Yeah, it's just these prices for the Nintendo Switch are just getting crazier and crazier by the like I think like for the straps, $14 for like these little like I can't imagine what the turnover rate on that is. It just has to be so much that they're making from them.
Um. Well, speaking of that, uh, not a segue right after Destiny, but speaking of Bungie, the marathon announcement that the closed alpha that is opening up in a couple days, they announced a day or two ago that there's actually no NDA anymore. It used to be under NDA. So anybody who enters is free to stream, give opinions, reviews, blah, 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 which is a pretty big deal. And Senpai Dado got me in contact with somebody. I couldn't get in contact with anybody. So looking like I should finally get a code now, and I should get 2 friend codes to hopefully bring you guys along. Uh, and originally, I mean, it was like, okay, well, there's an NDA, so like no rush, but I want to play it just to get a feel for myself of like, okay, moving forward, do I think I'm actually going to cover this thing? Well, now I guess we'll all get to find out at the same time. The bummer though is I still have that trip. I'm leaving forward tomorrow, so I want to say that Alpha goes live on the 23rd, which is this upcoming Wednesday. I don't get back until the night of the 25th, which is Friday. So I'll miss out in the first couple days and the initial hype, but I probably won't be. Well, no, I'll be busy, so I won't really be watching or consuming any. I'll come back, try to hop on as soon as I can, and then you guys will know because I'll post a video, some gameplay. I'm sure some first impressions. Hoping I enjoy it. Hoping I have fun. Because it was just like the guy that Dado got me in touch with. He's like, "Hey, this is Mr. Fruit. He's done this and that, and he's serious about like covering the game or like its future, blah blah blah." And so I was like, "Yeah." And then I tried to just like put in a little thing that's like, I hope it is. It's like I kind of need to play the game first. Um, because like I ain't saying like I'm full committed yet. Uh, hopefully after this alpha, we'll know if I am or not. But it was interesting because I ended up reading a news story yesterday that apparently that NDA lift was in reaction to the gameplay reveal and the higher ups being nervous about reception and gameplay reveals. So they're like, well, hopefully we can change the narrative and get people more excited or to believe or whatever with just having the alpha be open this time so people can see it and hear it from anybody they want to, which is interesting for both reasons. I'm glad they're able to do it. But on the other hand, that it was motivated more so because of the reaction to the gameplay reveal, which means even they saw it and were like, we thought people would be a little more excited or hyped about this.
Yeah.
And to be fair, some of the narrative, of course, was just absolute drivel.
I hate the
Uh,
word Concord now. Like I hate the word Concord now. And just people like people that like compare games to Concord never played Concord. I guarantee you. Like it is so weird. I don't get it.
they just use it to, again, it's like people just like hoping things fail. That's the thing that's strange to me. Um, like even if I don't like the game or it's not for me, I'm not like, oh, I hope it burns and dies and
Yeah.
all the employees go
Because
homeless and like I couldn't care less.
I hope the game is great, and I love playing it, and that's all I want to end up
Yeah.
playing. Like, that's all I hope for any game, really.
And there's still a lot of like the PvE discourse and whatnot. And I think one of the game heads or whatever said it, and like I respect. They're like, look, if you're mainly a PvE gamer, this just isn't the game for you. And so they had like they had an idea of what kind of game they wanted to make, and they're like, this is more of a PvP curated experience. But I think that's also why, especially given now we kind of talked about this ad nauseum last week, but I don't think they're entirely trying to target their already core player base of Destiny. So they weren't hoping to put them all over, but obviously there's a lot of interest just from those people. But rather than perhaps compromise on whatever they wanted to do, PvP mostly, but I think that's also where the questions arise of from a sustainability and overall like growth or market possibility. I will just end up looking. We have no idea. And I know there were some responses and stuff to like last week's podcast too. Um, thinking we were like again like hating on Marathon. We can say we don't like something and it's not hating. Or like I said I was whelmed. That's not hating. It's just I'm being honest. And I had my
Yeah.
reason. It wasn't just like I don't know, it looks stupid, man.
Well, obviously,
Um,
you were the majority reactions if this was their response to that, I think.
yeah. Yeah. Clearly it wasn't isolated to me. Now, yes, there were a lot of talking points and people out there just being hateful. Uh, but I was not hating. It was a measured opinion, and in the same way like this, same thing. Like I am hopeful that when I get to play the game, but that's what we talked about. Like the reveal itself didn't get me going. It was like, all right, sure, but I gotta get this in my hands. Just sort of like speaking of Star Wars, they revealed Respawn's making a new Star Wars game.
Oh,
Um, I forget what it's called, but before you get too excited, I don't know if you like this genre, and I know a lot of people watch the trailer and then we're like, "Huh?" It's a turn-based tactical.
oh,
It's like XCOM but Star Wars.
oh.
Yeah, I figured for you.
It's like when you see a cool trailer and then it says Nintendo DS.
Yeah,
You're
no,
like,
100%.
oh, like,
100%. I saw that sick ass
oh.
trailer and I was like,
Or Dusk Bloods,
I was
and
like,
then
this is it. We finally get a good. Oh, it's a tactical turn based.
they have like a 2-minute cinematic, and people are like, "Ooh," and then after that, it cuts to like some gameplay. And I was reading some of the comments, and they're like, "Oh," like I was so excited, it's like, "Oh, this could be. I wonder if it's this," and then it turns out to be Star Wars XCOM. Um,
And then the two
which,
people went crazy.
Two people
yeah.
were losing their mind.
So I think I'll have to check it out, but I there's been very few games like that that I enjoy. It's just not really my
Dead ass
genre.
genre.
Um, and so that was definitely from my standpoint too. It's like I feel like this isn't like a pop, and so like this must have been a smaller team with a smaller budget because there's no way there's like this has been a huge investment on their part because I have a really hard time thinking they pitched to EA or whatever and they're like, bro,
Like,
give us uh Last Jedi money or whatever that series is. Uh, but for a turn-based like XCOM like game, they're like, oh my god, this is just what the market needed. Uh, so yeah, for the people who love that genre, hope you enjoy it. I'll give it a shot, just because it's Respawn. Uh, and it's during the Clone Wars and stuff, which I enjoy, but I'm not overly excited about that one. But that's really the
no,
only Star
no.
Wars announcement I'd say. I didn't realize there was a whole. I
Yeah,
didn't know the
there's.
Star Wars thing was going on.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's a game that I think Christian played it a little bit. Dado's currently obsessed with it. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
if I like it or if I hate it. A new game called Blueprints that has recently come out. I think about a week ago, ish, maybe a
and
little bit
before the
longer.
confusion, the title is spelt blue, the color, space, prince, as in like king, queen,
Yeah.
prince, princess. It's a play on words. because you also deal with
Yeah.
actual blueprints, but yeah.
And I'm currently obsessed with it, but it's like I don't know if I like it or if I hate it. It's like one of the weirdest kind of games I think I've ever played. In the sense that like it's a rogue for those that don't know, it is a rogue-like puzzle game uh where you go through a mansion and essentially create rooms and try and get to the end of a room, to a specific room. And as you go through it, each room uh, can be like a doorway, but then there's like puzzle rooms that are specifically puzzles. But then there's like one giant puzzle around the whole thing. At least I think. Um, and it's if you enjoy like puzzles and like thinking and that kind of stuff, it's one of the coolest games. I
Are you a
think.
thinker?
Yeah, it's really cool. But it is also so frustrating. Um, I've been really enjoying it, but
So
I
I've
think
got
it's one of. Oh,
here are my notes
those are
from
all your notes?
from playing and going through certain things. You know, it's like, oh god, I might need this or that, or when a puzzle comes up and I'm like, oh, I might
Dang.
need to remember this.
Yeah, like I have like music 8 sheet bold word message, music 5 sheet bold word cheats, music 6 bold word R, like,
And then I have a
and
couple
then
photos on
like
my phone when they show me something, and I'm like, I can't write all that, or like I don't even know. I just take a
yeah,
picture, but
yeah, like cart equals chart, flan equals fan, coat equals coast, like
yeah, it's Well, I think regardless of how people feel, what I do think is cool is that it's generally just like a something we haven't seen before. It's a new take.
totally.
Um, and there's a lot of depth to it. Um, and while it took a little while for me to realize there are like some permanent progression things.
Yeah.
Um,
There are some things that go to like the next day or
yeah,
whatever.
but there's not a lot, especially early on. And really, you know roguelike part of it is the knowledge, which sounds like dumb, but like a lot of the runs are just going to new rooms or seeing things or writing things down. So then next time you're like, oh, I remember this, this does that, or oh, in this other room and this other run, I read this thing, and now it's asking about this. Oh, and it's probably that. And it's a lot of like that red wire string kind of thing. Um, and when you do find out some of the puzzles, it makes you feel smart, which is always a sign of a good puzzle game. Um, and there's a lot too, apparently. So I've played like 8 or 9 hours at this point. Um, I have no idea how close or how far I am. I got real close to actually completing a run once, and I got boned by RNG. Uh, I
Me too.
unlocked
Like, let me guess. You unlocked a room, okay, a specific door on one side, and then you got to the room before then, and now you don't have any dice or anything like that, and the corridor didn't go towards the door.
Yep.
Yeah, that
In
happened
fact,
to me
it
too.
was a sick run too. I think I had 43 out of the 45 rooms discovered. Like
What?
I almost had the whole I was like, "Dude, we're cooking." And then I get to that
You
last
had
room and I'm just like,
steps. You got steps.
"Oh, I had like 30 like I was gaming, bro." Like everything was coming together. I'm like, "Yes." Wrong way. And I'm
And then
like,
it's breaker room, closet,
"Yeah."
lavatory. Like,
Yeah, and I'm just like, I was so upset, man. I think that's the last run I did. It was at the end stream. I'm like, all right, I'm taking a break. Um, and but like Dado, for instance, started playing it. He and Danielle, so they ended up beating it. But what's interesting, because I asked like Dado about it, Dado's continued to play it
he
because the
has
way Dado
37
put
hours
it,
currently.
yeah, the way Dado put it was so the story or whatever, the idea of blueprints is you're given the estate by now your dead grandpa or whatever, but it's a magical or mysterious house where every day the layout of the house is different. Um, and so it's kind of like a deck builder or drafting game almost. You go to a door, you get a selection of options for rooms, you place them down, and he talks about how there's like 45 rooms in the house you need to discover or you'll find, but the 46th is like that's the goal. Like no one's ever found it. That's the mystery. where is, how do you get to this 46th room? That's the whole idea. So Dado and Danielle like beat it when they found the 46th room or whatever. But then Dado's like, yeah, it was sick. I got the 46th room, but now I've kind of realized that was the tutorial. And yeah, apparently now it's just like there's so many more secrets and puzzles that he's trying to discover. Because I'd heard originally somebody was like, yeah, it took me about like 20, 25 hours or something. And I quote unquote beat blueprints. But then they said, I've now clocked in 100 hours, which is wild to me. That there's so much stuff to discover and engage with, even after all that, and all these puzzles. And I'm still just barely getting through some of the starter ones. Like you mentioned, and I won't spoil, but like
Yeah.
clock and lock, Like
Yeah.
I've figured that part out. I've written down most, but I still am like, what do I do with this?
See, can I give you my
Or
theory on what we do with those?
go for it.
So, like with clock and lock, right? What letter is not involved in those anymore?
Cock and locks.
The letter C.
Oh, well,
So,
yeah, I mean,
does the letter C like go
I got it.
some? Okay, so yeah,
I figured
that's
that
what
out,
my.
but yeah, so now it's like, okay, I have all these.
What do I do
what
with them
the
now?
yeah. But yeah, there's all these different interesting puzzles, and so like some of them that you do find out, you're like pog, and it feels good. Other times, like I'm still sitting on some of these things where it's like, what the fudge? Or like I thought this would be important, or that was the interesting thing too, and still is for the most part. Like writing down almost everything, like
Yeah.
the basketballs, for instance, in the gymnasium, just have the brand name Hoople on it. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll need that.
Maybe
Right
that
now,
is
like basketball brand Hoople. I haven't had to use it, but like, especially not knowing what all the game is going to ask of you, writing down everything because it's like, this might be important.
this could
This
help.
could be a red herring. And so yeah, it's just a really different game. And I do think it's like hate it or love it. Like people will pick it up and either be like, yeah, this is for me, or it's not for them. But I think it's really engaging, really interesting. I will say, if you do want to play it, I would go in blind, so I wouldn't watch others.
Yeah, don't watch. Yeah, I really
Because the
want to
puzzles
watch
aren't
Dado play
randomized.
it, but I don't want to have like
Yeah.
something
will
so
be spoiled.
trivial like he walks up to a safe and goes boop boop boop, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what and like I've been stuck on this safe for 30 fucking days. Like,
Because it's not a case of like, oh, I need to unlock this computer and the code is Overwatch. And then in your game, though, it might be Paladins.
Diablo. Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, okay, well, at least I didn't get spoiled as long as I don't know how he found that. But in this case, if someone's like, oh, yeah, you need to get in that computer, it's Overwatch. Well, then it's Overwatch for everybody. So that's just like a heads up. Which is also why, although I've streamed it, I haven't made a video. I don't know if I will. Because I haven't beat it. And it's not like I can just make like a small
it's a
little highlight
super
video.
niche, like,
Yeah. So maybe if I beat it, compile it all down. But then also I know a lot of people just would be like, yo, that's cool, but like I can't watch this until I play it.
That's the other issue.
Which is totally understandable. So I would, if you're on the fence, just watch someone's like first run or two where they're still trying to figure out the game too. You probably don't get anything spoiled, but you get an idea. Or I'm sure there's somebody out there who's probably made a thread too of like, if you want to know if Blueprints is for you, but you don't want to get spoiled. In fact, there's probably YouTube videos. And if not, there you go. Boom. There's a free video for you. It's like, here's
I think
what
it's on Game
expect.
Pass. I think I saw somebody talking about it being on Game Pass. I could be wrong with that.
It might be. But yeah, it's fun. It's different.
This episode of the GG Over Easy podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Therapy should feel accessible and not like a luxury. With online therapy, you can get quality care at a price that makes sense that can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach, thanks to BetterHelp. That was a great thing about BetterHelp for me. It not only helped me deal with my stresses and teach me how to deal with my stresses, but also helped me with the stress of how much therapy can cost. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too. You can join sessions with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/GG. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this podcast. It hit its all-time peak a couple days ago, or literally yesterday, which is cool.
Yeah, good for that. Like I would have played more and finished it by now, but with everything else I got going on, planning for the trip right now, if I had more time, I didn't have this trip coming up, I could dedicate a couple days to where like, it's like, okay, this isn't going to turn the content. Because it's like right now I'm streaming it, but it's like, okay, well, that was a whole day. And I got this trip coming up, and that's not a video, and I need to get ready. So that's why I haven't finished it. Otherwise, so yeah, I would have finished and played because it's almost it don't sometimes too. It feels like one big escape room kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of that sense where like not every single room is like, oh, you got to figure, but like the whole house is the escape room. And the only other caveat I will give is just like Rob and I talked about, understand it is a roguelike and random. And sometimes
Yeah, you just get
that's just the run.
so owned.
Yeah, sometimes early, you're like, wow, it's already over. Sometimes you get late and you're like, that is so unfortunate. It seems you can mitigate some of that as you unlock more things, find new rooms, or like there are ways to like permanently change. I've only changed like 1 or 2 rooms permanently. But the rooms will become better, or you'll find new rooms because all 45 aren't unlocked to you at first. You have to find different ways to get them. And the more cards you have that are secret, they're better. So now the pool is less full of like it's more diluted in a good way. Because at first too, there's a lot of just stinker cards that like can ruin runs in certain like you want to pull them, but not right here. So that would just be my like qualifier for it is just now. Even though all that it's a puzzle game, all that it's also still a roguelike and random, and it's meant for you to do several runs, a lot of runs. So don't get discouraged, and rather that's what I try to do is like, okay, well, what did I learn this run? What's one thing I got to get from this, or what's this and that? So yeah.
Yeah, super awesome. Are you gonna check it out, Blue, at all, or have you seen like anything on it, or do you have any desire?
It looks cool, but I don't think it is. Anytime there's like a long puzzle for me to figure out, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have like the mental fortitude. Like, I don't know, like solving puzzle purely to solve a puzzle isn't like the most engaging thing to me, you know?
That's fair.
I guess maybe
Yeah.
it's my monkey brain, but like I need like some more type of action to it to solve the puzzle. Like some more like that feels more engaging. I know for a lot of people like
Like a
Dado, it's
Destiny
like,
puzzle.
yeah, exactly. I know for like someone like Dado, it's like they see a puzzle and they're like, oh, let's put the pieces together, baby. But for me, it's just like, yeah, that's a puzzle, and I'm gonna let someone else solve it. So my brain capacity is low. I apologize.
No, I get it.
Is there anything else we wanted to touch on this week before we do some Q&A? Oh, I guess I saw my niece. That was kind of cool. I was Unc this weekend. I totally forgot about that. But yeah,
Yeah, something I was on. You know,
it's
how it is.
babies. Yeah, I'm not like a big baby guy. Like I'm not like, oh my god, like come here, like oh boom 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 boom. Like I just, oh that's
I'm with you.
cool. Like I
I think
just
I'm
like I don't
one
get
of those
moved. Like
people.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm one of those people. Claire's too. And it's a lot for that. Like a lot of people, it's like, uh, I think I am uninterested in your baby unless it were my baby. Like,
Yeah,
I think if it was my kid, I'd be all about him. But then somebody else's, yeah, it's not like, oh my gosh, I need it. Well, first off, I'm like, don't put that pressure on me.
yeah, I agree.
Now,
Don't
hold
I
on a
don't want
minute.
to hold. Yeah, I don't
I
want
know
to
how to
hold
hold
her
him and stuff,
him.
but like, this is still like, I feel like this is fragile. This is a fragile thing. I don't want to mess this up. Uh, what was I gonna say? Oh, 2 things. Happy Easter,
Yeah.
everybody.
Happy
I guess
Easter. Happy Yeetster.
I'll be going to a mixed family lunch that I'm not like, I'm going. I'll just say that, I'm going. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
like
It'll be interesting. Mixed family events are always interesting.
yeah, especially when it's revolved around religion and stuff like that. Can always go like a lot of different ways.
Religion and politics, baby. Uh, and the other thing was also this week that came out of nowhere and I ended up playing RuneScape Dragon Wilds.
I
Oh, that's right.
really want
I
to try
meant to
this.
ask about that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was ever because I'd never heard about it, and I like to think usually I have a finger on the pulse on some of these things. This just kind of came out of nowhere, and I guess there was a reveal stream, and my favorite kind of reveal stream because then they go, "Oh, by the way, it's out." I
Oh,
prefer those. So they're like, "Yeah, early access is out now if you want to go try it." So it is although it has the name RuneScape, it is a open world survival crafting adventure game that can be played co-op up to 4 players currently. I don't know if they have plans for different things or whatever. And I've been told roughly early access has about like 20 hours of content right now. Unless you want to engage further with like just grinding for the sake of grinding or optimizing what builds there are in the game, as well as like building, of course. And I'll give it to it. The building is pretty nice with what is unlocked currently. I like the building system itself. One of the better ones, I still think Enshrouded might just be the best, but like the Enshrouded just had so much customization, um, and possibilities and options. That's hard to beat, but this one was good. Uh, I made the mistake of starting to try to do some advanced stuff without realizing that if I just waited a little bit in the skill tree, I unlocked a lot more stuff than I needed. Because I say it's like New Worlds because I never played RuneScape, but I know this is also how RuneScape was. It has the classic like 99 levels and like wood cutting. Chop down a tree, you get wood cutting XP. Mine some rocks, you get mining XP. And then in that, you'll get little bonuses, and then at certain breakpoints, you'll get new skill levels. I think my favorite thing about the game is the magic system. When you unlock certain skill trees, you can unlock spells. And as far as I can think, this is like the first survival game that did it, but you have these spells that helps you collect resources even better. So like one of the first spells you collect is called Astral Projection. But you summon a big old axe and you blah, 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 and you throw it and it'll just automatically chop down any tree it hits. And it has like the Valheim system, so then the actual tree falls and it's like an actual thing. You need to chop that to get the lumber. So you can do that, but then you still need to hit the lumber. Well, unlock wood cutting even more. You get another spell that once you've cut those down, then in an AoE, any trunk that's fallen, any log that you hit with the spell automatically just becomes chopped wood. So
that's
then you can
cool.
just turbo. So you bop, 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 chop down like 4 at once, combine them, spell, bunch of that. You get all the XP. Same thing with like mining and whatnot. So you like as you get better, you also get ways to make it easier and faster, which I think is pretty cool. Combat is for a survival crafting sandbox game, not bad. It's right below Enshrouded, I think, because I think Enshrouded does combat pretty good as well. But this isn't bad. Not everything's implemented yet. And yeah, I played for like 6-7 hours in one day. Had a bunch of fun. And I think, yeah, if you're interested in the genre, at least take a peek. Might be one of the situations too where it's like, cool, I'll wait for, 1.0 or when all the content's in there, which is fair. I don't know the actual roadmap or like timeline of when stuff should be coming out, but yeah, for what's already there, I'm pretty impressed. Please let me turn down bloom or like volumetric lighting though. That's my one complaint. The game is like flashbanging me at all times. The bloom just goes crazy. Especially like you kind of get used to it. But in the game, man, I was like wiping my eyeballs. I'm like, everything's kind of blurry and also like so bright. Is it me? No, it's the game. But yeah. Otherwise, came out of nowhere. but honestly, really fun. So
Hell yeah. Did you ever play the original RuneScape?
no,
No. That
it
train missed me
all
too.
yeah, it missed me. Plus, I wasn't really like we had a computer, but one, it couldn't run anything. And I know you're like, what? Oh, RuneScape can run just about anything. Yeah, maybe it could run RuneScape, but also, you know, until I got my own computer uh, as like what a junior in high school when I had to pay for it myself. It was a family computer. You know, I have like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Uh,
like your parents would have never let you been on that thing for more than 30 minutes.
no,
Like
yeah. So, yep, no, never happened.
we'll go on to Q&A here. Karaxi says, what is something you know a lot about that you don't get to talk a lot about? Something I know a lot about that I don't get to talk about enough or a lot. I guess sports. I guess sports. Like if we're talking in the realm of the GG over easy podcast, we rarely touch on sports. Uh, and unfortunately, I think I know way too much about sports and sports trivia or just weird knowledge of all kinds of sports, even baseball that I don't even watch. I'd probably say that would be probably the answer to that.
I guess the competitive Pokemon TCG landscape in the '07 through '09 era. How many people are interested about that or curious, but a lot about that or also still always like the inner machinations of YouTube still. 'Cause it's not like I don't make content on that, but actually everything creators have to do to operate and all the back end stuff. Uh, but otherwise, a lot of it is random video game stuff, but that's usually talk about that. Yeah.
What
Otherwise,
about
it's
you, Blue?
I'm not like an expert on anything.
I'm an expert on fuck all.
Retweet.
I'm an expert on how to be depressed.
Damn, I go length on that one.
Johnny Appleseed says, so if it was your livelihood and your only means of getting food for yourself and your family, do you think you'd be a hunter, a fisherman, or a farmer?
Oh, I
Can be
would
modern day or in the past before grocery stores were a thing.
let me cook as a farmer.
I
I'd
lost you
be
at the last.
or not a farmer. Let me cook as a fisherman. I'd be a great fisherman.
Wait, am I crazy?
What?
Oh, there you guys go. Did you guys hear you said something about farmer and then you both
No,
went
I could hear
silent.
him. No, that was weird. That must have been your
Oh.
setup.
What was the last part of the question?
Uh, if so, if it was your livelihood and your only means of getting food for yourself and your family, do you think you'd be a hunter, a fisherman, or a farmer?
Like if you guys were gone, I just thought I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I'd probably pick fisherman as well, same as Blue.
I'd be
I
a
think
great
there is
fisherman.
like there's a lot of stress that comes to hunting and farming. You know, I feel like with fishing, you know, you kind of just throw a rod in and whatever happens, happens.
I'm inclined to go fisherman as well. I've done a little bit with my paw. From what I can tell, barrier to entry there. And initial steps to just be able to survive off what you need to do would be easier because like farming, I mean Claire does gardening, grows tries to grow crops in her back, like food and stuff. And just like it seems like every plant, their goal is to try to die. I swear none of them want to live, man. And like
They
all the
all have
different
depression as
go
well.
wrong. Yeah, they really do, or like aphids and all these sorts of things. And it's like, oh, this is rotten or this is bad, and then this soil, and you can't do this for a while, and then you have to do that in a
Or
couple
like the
years, like this
bugs,
and that.
like
Yeah, like aphids or whatever. And then we had
oh, that's what a
weird
bug is.
giant s- green pussy caterpillars or something this like with spiky
Mr.
butts, and
Fruit, please don't say
they eat
pussy
all your
like that.
crops. They eat all your tomatoes. And then they lay their eggs in the tomatoes, and
Ew.
all this stuff is just like this seems impossible. And
That's
if
what
you
I'm
like
saying.
mess
It's
something
so
up,
stressful.
so like I don't know, maybe if you're well, then again, if you want a giant farm, well, that's even more. But like in that case, it's just odds. Like, all right, maybe 20% of you won't make it, but we have so much other more. Hey,
Yeah.
and then hunting. Just see, well, one, especially where I am, what the fudge am I going to hunt? Um, but I guess if like you didn't have to take that into consideration, just think you need to develop so many more skills in order to,
Like tracking, like
calls. I mean, obviously
the
shooting.
the
Uh,
patience to just sit there, I think,
I
like
don't. I
waiting.
guess fishing is the
Well,
same,
fishing
but
is different though, because like fishing, I have to throw it in like a lake, and like the fish are only in this lake, and I know that they're in the lake. Like
I get that. So yeah, I think there's just so many more variables, and like without having any prior skill set for really any of them, I feel like fishermen, and I'm maybe we have some fishermen here who are insulted. Uh,
yeah,
I'm not saying I'm
I
going to
would like
become
to
pro, but if
say
I need to feed my family,
I didn't say it was low skill. I just feel like I could learn how to fish effectively and properly.
because it's easier to learn. That's what I'm saying. There's less
Well,
variables.
how about
variables.
this? How about
Like
this?
as someone who has fished, I was like, oh, okay.
How about this? I think it's easier to learn because I find it more interesting and nothing else.
I
That
think
plays into
I
learning as
find
well.
hunting more interesting, but I don't
See,
think.
I feel bad like with hunting, like that deer is like a living thing. Fish are stupid, like, and maybe fish are offended listening to this, but that's just
Yeah,
how I feel about fish.
someone else said in the chat. It was a better way to put it. There is a lot of skill, but I think it has the lowest barrier of entry. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if I'm trying to farm, I can't just be like, okay, well, I know I just like dig a hole, put the seed in, and I don't know, maybe water
That's
it every now
it.
and then. Like, okay, that probably does the trick. Hunting, I guess I just go find a deer. I got a gun, something. But with fishing, like when my pa did, I was young. He's like, we're gonna catch catfish, and guess what? I caught a couple. Uh, the main thing was trying not to poke myself with the actual hook and stuff when I was like throwing it. Not my finest moment. Uh, and then remembering which way to reel or like when to reel and when not. That was really the only thing. But yeah, again, it's like right now, gun to your head, you got to feed your family. I'm like,
Yeah, fish.
teach a man to fish.
Caraxi says, Rob, how do you take care of cat hair? Me and my GF adopted our third cat last month, and there's hair everywhere. Also related, with all you living with your significant others, how do you divvy up chores? That's the thing with cat hair. You just learn to live with it. We have a good vacuum cleaner that is like specifically made to pick up like your hair, like in the carpet and stuff like that. But like, unless I'm vacuuming every hour of every minute of every day, like there's just gonna be hair everywhere. Uh, Especially like with cats. I'm sure Christian can attest to what it's like with his dogs.
I'll tell you what,
And so like
I
you just learn to live with it. Like there's really nothing if you don't want hair in your house, then don't have pets that shed. Like
yeah, that's really the
I mean, that's specifically why my parents had miniature schnauzers, and I think they have a Welsh Terrier now, is because they don't shed.
why we had a Maltese growing up too. Like they didn't want anything to shed, and I can understand why because yeah, two corgis. That's what people ask. I'm like, I just give up, man. Like there is
Yeah.
no fighting it. If you do it as a battle, you will never win. So like yeah, we have a like dog hair vacuum or whatever and lint roller and whatnot. But like, I mean, like sometimes it's like maybe I'll eat something or whatever, and I drop it for a second, and I pick it up, and it's like suddenly it's a whole hairball, and I look on the ground, I don't even see anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
where it just exists everywhere. Like it's in the air. I swear, like, it doesn't make sense where it gets to, or it'll be parts of the house where I know they don't even go. I'm like, how is this here?
Yeah,
Uh,
like I just like brushed my hand on the carpet for like 3 seconds and big old hairball. Like,
like I have a mat under my desk, a rug that's not too old. We have had it for a couple months. It's black, but you might think it's got some stripes of white. And I freaking uh vacuum the thing. Like yeah, you don't. That's the gist of it.
does Boomy shed a lot, Blue?
Not really. He definitely
And it's
sheds a
probably like
little bit.
little like
Yeah, he has like he's tiny, so there's only so much fur that comes off of him, and he's pretty short coat dog. But I'd say in the summer he doesn't really shed, but definitely in the winter he sheds more often. But for the most part, not
uh
really. Just some little silver hair sitting around.
Forgot what it's like
and
to
about
not just live with
yeah,
her everywhere.
seriously. About divvying up chores, it's not even like really divvying up the chores. It's more so like if I know Sydney's at work and she's actually working a real life job where she has to interact with people and deal with bullshit, it's like, okay, I want her to come to like a clean house. So then I'll like try and do the dishes and stuff like that. And it's more so like you cleaned the cat's box last time, like I'll clean the cat's box this time. Um she loves vacuuming though, so I leave the vacuuming to her. That's like her favorite chore. She loves the little crunches from the vacuum. Uh but we both hate laundry, so like we both are like really bad about doing laundry. Um, but yeah, it's more so just like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of deal here.
For Claire and I, a lot of it too is just eventually figuring out kind of like that, like which ones do we actively not like, and for her, like she doesn't like taking out the trash for whatever reason, and I don't mind it.
Sydney
I take out
hates
trash.
that. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Mowing the yard. I like mowing the yard, so I'll mow. Um,
I love mowing. I miss mowing. I wish I had a yard to mow. Like that was a nice like
it is nice, kind of therapeutic.
it is. I love
Um,
it.
the or
Like
what,
what do
like
you hate? Like
laundry?
which one do you hate?
Like I hate laundry. She'll do that.
Yeah.
Um, otherwise, I don't really know if there's any aside from that like I'm just like nah. Like obviously it's like chores, so it's like I
I
don't
hate
want
dirty
to
dishes.
most time.
Like especially when there's like food like that's like wet and like in the
Yeah, I get
dish
it.
like really in the sink. I don't like that.
I get in the mood sometimes, and then I'll just pan wash everything and I'm vibing. Um, I don't hate them, but yeah, like, well, for me too, I usually get to that point too where if we haven't done something or like it's just piling up and we haven't done a lot, I just get to the point where like this has to be done. I can't like this is even if I'm not in the like just knowing it's there is bothering me. I need to. So then yeah, every now and then I just and so I actually like doing the dishes sometimes.
Mr. Westlo?
I would say we probably like we're pretty 50-50, but I would say there's definitely preferred chores that we have like gotten into the habit of doing ourselves. Like I don't mind doing the dishes. I don't mind like putting stuff in the dishwasher. I do like sweeping. Um, and I would say, oh geez, thinking about chores is making me sleepy, guys. This is fucked up. I'd say my partner is definitely more on like the taking the trash out. Um, he'll often help me with the laundry because I will put my laundry in and then I will forget to do everything else for it. So we definitely have like a pretty even split. I would say, yeah, I don't know. We don't even really think about it. We just kind of do it.
Yeah,
We'll do oh go ahead.
nah, it's all good.
Yeah. We'll do last question here from Goo Boy. Says, howdy fellas. Are you still into board games? If so, what have you played lately and what are some of your favorites?
Yup. Uh, recently, we played Wingspan or Wormspan, I believe. The dragon take on Wingspan. I actually played that with Tato and Danielle when they were here. I enjoyed that. Claire and I also we got code names duos or pairs. It's like a cooperative code name. Um,
Oh.
pretty hard. But we had a lot of fun with that. What are some of the other ones we've been playing like recently? I mean, again, we really like Too Many Bones. Um, when Dado and Danielle were over, we also played the League of Legends board game I got forever ago, Mechs and Minions or
Oh.
something like that. But yeah, still like him. Play him when we can. We haven't got many new ones recently, but yeah.
I haven't played really any board games. Not a lot of people by us are into them. And if Sydney and I are playing with them, it's normally like our family, so we play like very normie ones like Tapple or those type of games. Haven't
Yeah, we
played
tried
anything like
to for Claire's birthday party with her family. We wanted to do a board game night because typically it's impossible with them, and because they have all the kids and stuff. It was like a kid-free night where we're like, all right, we're gonna try some board games. We tried to bring somewhere it's like they're on the more normie side. So it's like,
Mhm.
and some of them are just bad at taking instructions, just can't engage for long. So it's like, all right, something quick and easy to describe, and get like straight into it.
Yeah.
Um, she got this one game. I can't remember but we hadn't played it yet. But it's pretty simple. You draw like 5 cards, and each card will say something. So it'd be like Lord of the Rings, pizza, abortion. I don't know if it's abortion, but like Coca-Cola and the Yankees. And then like let's say I drew those cards. Everyone else works together to then decide how I would rank them 1 to 5 from like top to bottom, however, like
Mhm.
most like to
Whatever. Yeah.
most dislike. And then I myself write it down without coordinating with them. Um, and then they all decide, and at the end of the round, they're like, okay, we think it's this order. And then I reveal what I have. And then for each one they get right in the right order, uh, they get that card, and for each one they don't. Um, and the game, quote unquote, gets it. And on each of the back of the cards is a letter. You're trying to randomly collect a letter to spell the name of the game. But if the game, quote unquote, spells it first, you guys lose. Um,
Hmm.
so super quick, super easy. There was, I think, like 8 of us. We got through 4 rounds, which mind you take 2 minutes maybe. Uh, the entire night. That was the entire night. That's how much board games we got through. We also brought like Jackbox and stuff. Then we get to it. Too ambitious, I guess.
Yeah.
We tried.
Shame on you for thinking that.
Yeah,
Have you been playing any board games at all, Blue?
Holy crap. Yeah, board games. I was thinking about Magic the whole time. I was like, I really need to buy this new Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy set. Am I gonna play Magic? Absolutely not. I'm not gonna play that game. But I was like,
understandable.
those Final Fantasy cards looked really good. I should probably buy some Magic cards. Anyways, I like board games. I just don't think I like them as much as everyone else does. I feel like for me, the extent of my board games is like trading card games and like playing like that. But like as far as like board games, yeah, not really like I've never been like super big on them like everyone else has been. I like
I
tabletop
wouldn't.
games in the sense of like TCG for sure, but yeah.
Well, I think you're in the majority of people, but I'd say among our friend group, yeah, most of us enjoy board games.
I enjoy them. If I know how they work. And then which means like I have to get through the 20-minute tutorial of reading the thing of how this works, and then I have to like actually like actively pay attention, so that way during the game I'm not like, so like what happens when I draw this, like because
It always just boils down to let's just do a turn, and then once you get through a turn, it's like, okay, now I get it. But yeah,
unless you're Claire's family, then if you're
yeah.
Claire's family,
But I mean, I'm with you. Even someone who likes board games, that's always the toughest for me. But it's like get through a turn, and then suddenly everything clicks. Okay,
Especially
And
like
then you
someone
start
who's
having
like
fun.
super into the board game that wants to play it with people. Then they're like, just we have to get through 25 minutes of like reading this, and then like I promise, and then it's like, all right, like
Yeah, because even me, as the person who usually has to read out, even when I'm listening, after a couple minutes, I start tuning out, and it's like, you lost me. We got to just, even if it's just like everyone play around, and then we reset and actually start the game. But like, definitely way easier to just learn by doing. Well,
well, that'll do it for the GG Over Easy podcast. Thank you guys all for chilling and hanging out today. We will be back next Sunday for some more talking and whatnots.
look forward to it. See.